What is up, everybody? So, how many cameras are too many cameras? We got over 30 plus here, and is that too many, or is that not enough? Well, the answer is, let's jump into our UniFi Protect setup, and I'll show you what we're doing, and all the special things we're using with VPNs and stuff like that. It's a bit of a crazy setup, and I hope you enjoy. Let's go over to the computer now. So as you can see here, I've got the UniFi Protect setup, and you can see the list of cameras. So this is 32 devices. Actually, I want to say it's 33. There's one offline. But essentially, these are all laid out around the house. We've got internal and external CCTV, recording to a UniFi NVR Pro. If you've watched my recent network tour video, you will see all of that sort of stuff in there. If you've also watched my network deep dive, you'll know that most of these are on the CCTV network, indicated by the 30 IP address, where some of these do exist on the local main network, where they probably shouldn't be. They should be on the 30 network, but due to technical limitations with the way the VLANs are working, they have to be on the 30 network. We also have some cameras located on another public IP space. That's the ones beginning with TH. They are physically located separately, and so are the ones with the HC, actually. Let's jump around and I'll show you some of the config in the UniFi if you're not familiar with UniFi Protect, and then we'll get to the VPN networking stuff in the next part. So if I come over here to the dashboard, I've just hidden the cameras for now because I don't want to show you any of them. Privacy is important, so yeah. So over here you have the configuration showing us the hard drive. So we've got three 6 terabyte hard drives. We've got a 4 terabyte hard drive in there that I was using for backup, but in an update to UniFi Protect, they've stopped me doing that, which is great. Camera capacity, we've got 33 HD cameras, no 2K cameras and no 4K cameras. I haven't got any of the more advanced AI new ones. They're all G3 Flexes and G4 Nano, something like that. But anyway, that's the camera setup. Most active cameras, something like the fence gap, front gate camera. These are where people are walking past. Playbacks is where you see the cameras and you can play back a recording. I'm not going to show you that because I don't want to show you the recordings, but essentially you can do all that. You can build a case. You have the ability to create a case, which I think is great. So that combines pieces of footage from different recordings. We do that. We do that sometimes, but not really much. Most of the time it's recording and deleting. Most of the time we don't have any instance. We do have this integrated using the API with our home automation system. If I jump over to that. So I've jumped over to the home server, and you can see that if I search in UniFi NVR cameras, you can see all the NVR cameras, and they're assigned to the rooms and all that sort of stuff. They're all there, and they all exist. Come back over here. We've got some settings. So here you can see all the cameras listed out, what they're overlaying, all that sort of stuff. Storage manager, this is just the storage sort of stuff. All the usual sort of things you'd expect. It has some clever ability to do some more advanced automation these days, such as when motion is detected, send a webhook or move a PTZ. All that sort of stuff is there now, which I think is great, which is a real improvement. I'm not using any of UniFi Protect's remote login functionality. In fact, I've disabled it all by actually logging into the UniFi Protect MVR and deleting the URL so it can't make any of those requests externally. It also has no public access. If you want a video about how I did that and how we've made sure it's locked down and can't communicate, I'll show you that. But yeah, let's jump over to Excalibur and I'll explain to you how we're doing the remote cameras. So here at the root house, we've got the amount of cameras we've got. I want to say it's like 28. 28 times cameras. We've got 28 cameras here. It's probably slightly less than that because we've got 4 over there, 2 over there, and 4 over there. But anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. Then over here at our remote location, we'll just call this remote location. We've got some more cameras. So in my network video, I explained about the fact that we've got a VPN server. So actually, between the two locations, if I do this a different color, we've got a VPN tunnel. That's this thing here. So there's a VPN, there's a constant VPN. We're sending network traffic down that, our link-only network that's local, and some other stuff that we're doing. But down that also happens to consist of all of the CCTV. It's actually the other way. All of the CCTV stuff, that all sort of communicates over that. So the cameras that are at the remote location are still encrypted all the time when talking to this location. The only issue is if the internet goes down, of course, they don't record. But right now, we have our provider at this location of Virgin Media Business. We've got Virgin Media Business here, Virgin Media Business there. I'm not so concerned about this going down. It might go down. It goes down occasionally, but there's nothing mission critical there. That's why it's recording here. At some point, an MVR or some sort of recording device there will be on the card. But right now, we're doing it this way because I wanted to try it. I wanted to try VPNing it and all that sort of stuff. What have I discovered about this? There's 4 cameras here. All 4 of them stream over the BVM. And that works quite well, if I'm honest. There are some problems such as they struggle to do updates, which is really weird. They struggle to communicate with the MVR to get the updates. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I've tried talking to UniFi about it, but if you take the camera and you put it on our network, it works. But if you leave it there, it doesn't do the updates. So clearly I've missed some ports or something, or there's some weird config to do with the VPN. But other than that, it's all working quite well. All of the CCTV is locked down and isolated, no public access, none of that sort of stuff, because I don't want anybody remoting in. It's CCTV, you want to keep it secure. I'm sure UniFi does some encryption on the camera level itself, which would be ideal. Overall, we're doing an additional level encryption. So at this location, we've got an edge router, and then we've got a USG here, Unified Security Gateway, another edge. That needs an upgrade, but they're at those 2 ends. Actually, at this end, it is another edge router, because the edge router is running all the VPN stuff. I'll be doing another video about the VPN stuff when I'll be talking about my house-wide USA network, which essentially is US TV in the UK. But yeah, that kind of explains how this works. We also have a remote site, so we have another location, which I'll draw in here, which is just a location over there, which is actually using a peer-to-peer bridge. So we've got a dish here and another dish on this building, and these 2 are communicating with each other over the air, and that works really well. We have no issues with that whatsoever. Previously, they have also got their own internet, and we were using that as an uplink, but we did discover that their bandwidth wasn't quite enough. So you do need quite a lot of bandwidth, especially with 2 cameras that they were getting over there. We did need that. They're also recording here locally. It does mean we get about 25 days or so. An increase in storage will be coming at some point, but yeah, that kind of explains the networking setup. Hope you've been interested in how I've been doing UniFi Protect slightly differently. But overall, it's a good system. We're having a few bugs recently, but other than that, I think it's to do with the amount of cameras on that many hard drives. But I'll see you in the next one.